Hello, I am Sean's Hands, back with more Kerbal Space Program, back with our trip to Duna, back from, sorry, had a couple of days there. I just took the weekend off. Well, it's Easter weekend, had things going on, so that's going to happen from time to time. That's just how it is. There we go. We were going to Duna, right? Yeah, that was the thing we were doing. We have our orbiter here, heading to Duna. We have our intercept with Duna, correct? Is it zipping out? Big questions remain just around our ability to keep a signal strength with Kerbal. So we're going to zip forward here a bit, just because I'm curious if we start to see that signal strength degrade. Hopefully not. Our periapse is, nice and close there. Assuming that holds, we'll... What I would like to do, I think is, I think I'd like to get in orbit. I'd like to send some basic data back. Yeah, that seems fine. Seems like we're going to get this just fine. So I'd like to send some data back, obviously. I would like to maybe take a trip over to Ike. This is Ike, right? Ike, yeah. Maybe we'll do a little bit of science near Ike too. It really depends. So we're going to warp here. I'm going to operate under the assumption that everything is going to go fine, that we're maintaining our power. We have lots of electric charge. We are starting, our signal is degrading a little bit, but still decent. And, well, okay. And now we just need to swing around and prepare for a retrograde burn. And we're orbiting at 1,500 meters per second. So that should be, that shouldn't be too tough considering the amount of fuel we have. There is a retrograde somewhere here, right? There we go. We'll get a basic orbit. Let's go ahead and maybe set up a maneuver node. How much delta V is that going to require? Some. Most. Oh. Is that not? So how do we, all right, add a maneuver. I want to slow down. There we go. Okay. I must have been pulling the wrong thing. And we'll circularize it around the 100,000 meter mark. There we go. So it's going to take 985. It's going to take us, a decent little burn. But we still have, we'll still have 2,000 in the tank after that. So we can maybe swing around over to see if we can't get an encounter with Ike. Obviously, it's going to mean normalizing our orbit a little bit, which really we should have done while we were further out. But now we're here, so... We're not going home. We're not using this fuel for anything else, so we might as well do what we can. I'm not going to zoom in yet because I want to see Duna in all its glory when we get there. We have a decent signal, and I think we will probably, with about a minute, yeah, we're going to start burning. And our estimated burn's about a minute. Nice. Coming in over the North Pole of Duna. And then we'll gather some science. We'll send it back. And maybe swing around over to Ike. Or see if we can. And we've nearly done it. We've gotten our Duna encounter, but we've nearly... That's wobbling just drives me nuts. Stop it. Thanks for the tips, by the way, on the nuclear engine. Does not need oxidizer. You live and you learn. I don't know if that's one I ever actually knew. It seems like I had heard that before. But it's a really good tip. There's been lots of great ideas and great helpful suggestions, some of which I have roundly not applied to my actual gameplay, but which I can. All right, let's take a look at our Duna. And here we are at... No, here we are at Duna. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Looks like a big ice ball right now because we're over the pole. We can grab some science. Observe material bay. We're going to lose a lot in the transmission back, but that's all right. Space near Duna. I'm willing to do it. That was the whole point of this, after all. We can open our service bay. We can grab some mystery goo. Transmit all this good stuff back. Oof. So we're getting plus 20% for the quality of our signal, but it's down to 36%. That's all right. Looks seismic data. Oh, we obviously... Why did I put a seismometer on this thing? It's fine. And we can transmit that science back. All right. Very good. We get around to the days. Well, actually, what I want to do is... Now I want to set Ike as the target. Our node seems to be a little off. So why don't we... Oop, that would be the wrong way. This is going to take a lot of delta V. We have 2,000 in the tank. And we're going to use most of it getting an equatorial orbit. All right, looks like about 0.2 is the best we can do here. So another 1,000 delta V to just swing around the planet real quick. Then we'll see how much we have left. Warp to that node. You know, the interesting thing that I just realized is we actually have no communications on that side. So we're going to warp past that node, and we're going to get rid of that because we're going to have to do over here. Oh, because they're control locked. We got to get our... Okay, now we should be able to do it. Yes. We're going to have to do it over here because this is where we have a signal. All right, let's try that again. This time with, you know, able to receive orders from Kerbal. Now, of course, this is completely unrealistic because of time delay, right? I would never be able to control this ship in real time in a Duna orbit. But also, they're made, the people are green and have giant kind of squarish, rectangular heads, so, you know, I'm willing to forgive. And we will go ahead and initiate that burn. Let's get a little closer so it's a little evened out. And we will burn. And we will finally polish off this stage of our rocket. And we will use our nuclear engine for the very first time. Pardon me. There's the red planet. Good old Duna. And we jettison that stage. And go. Goodbye, space trash. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, how are we going to... Where would we need to do a node? Because it probably can't be here. That's not going to work because we are going to not have a signal there, I'm pretty sure. Let's just warp to next maneuver. Well, maybe. I forget where Kerbal is. We won't be able to grab the Science Junior. No, we won't be able to do anything here. Might have to go to the tracking station and give it a couple days for Ike to kind of zip around the planet a bit. Yeah, I'm going to do that. We'll go to the tracking station, let Ike get in a slightly different position. So that we can do our burn elsewhere. We kind of want it on this side so that we can do our burn on the day side. Where we have Kerbal. So when does Kerbal out? It's only out for sort of a brief period right here. So we can probably do it now. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, let's go back to Duna. None of this is part of the original mission, obviously, but that's okay. All right, so let's create a new maneuver node to go to Ike. It's not going to take very much delta V by comparison to get there. There we go. And, you know, we may bring this thing down just to rest at Ike. I don't think we're going to do anything there, but I think we're going to leave our probe right there on Ike. We're starting to get some more signal degradation anyway. So before too long, we're just not going to have a lot of control over this probe in general. And we're not going to get as good a data signal or a science modifier, bonus, whatever, just because the signal is even weaker than it was before. But that's all right. It's about exploring, going to new places, meeting new people, new moons. And we will burn for Ike. Much easier than getting to, say, the Moon or even Minmus. Just a lot less delta V. I mean, it's basically an asteroid, right? Ike is very, as I recall, very small. Just not a lot of mass there. All right, good. So we have our Ike encounter. We will warp there. And we are going to be kind of moving at a crawl by the time we get there, I think. And we will turn retrograde. Well, not a crawl. 424 delta V. 821 left. "30 seconds away." God. Get in an orbit fast, why don't you? And circularize down to about that's good. All right, we'll do some more science around Ike. Tiny adorable Ike. Can't do the Science Junior again, but we can observe some more mystery goo. And we can transmit that. And we can log pressure data and transmit that. And we can log thermometer and transmit that. All right. There's only one thing left to do, which is put our adorable probe somewhere comfy. Let's see. Where is Kerbal? Let's go around and get to this side. We've lost signal, as I thought we might. Actually, Duna may be in the way. So we may actually just go here once we get a signal back. Yeah, we're all right. I'd like to land on the day side if I can. All right, good. We're going to do a hard burn to get rid of this last 345 meters per second of delta V, horizontal delta V. And we will... that looks very rocky. It all looks rocky. There's... And I don't want to lose my signal. All right. Horizontal speed down to 200. And if this thing crashes, that's fine. It's done its work. Burning off 100 meters per second of horizontal. 30, 20, 10, cut. Okay. All right. We are 6,000 meters up, roughly. Now, my concern, of course, is that one of these mountains is going to cut off our communications. And if it does, again, that's fine. This thing has done its job. Still have 200 delta V in the tank. Got a nice, smooth, vertical-ish descent. $2,000 meters up. 1,000 meters up. Let's burn off some more of that delta V as long as we still have a signal. Oh, we're still in orbit mode. We're doing the thing again. Haha. Figured it out that time. I'm getting smarter. Well, not smarter, but... 200 meters up. $100 meters. $20. If we're going to tilt, let's tilt this way. Well, can we do our gravimeter now? I'm holding it up. Transmit science is our last act, a last desperate act of our probe. 50, 70, 80, 100. And now, at last, she can rest. SAS off. Communication lost. I didn't have to get rid of the communication, you know. I can still close the bay. That's nice. But I don't know. There's something poetic about it. And as we zoom out on our lonely probe, lost on the desolate slopes of Ike in the Duna system, we bring this episode to a close. My name is Sean Sands from Gamers with Jobs. Thank you as always for joining me. I think our next mission is actually going to be to bring Stephanie and Bob home. We will go to another biome with them, hopefully. I'll have to see how much gas they have in the tank. We're going to go to another biome. We're going to have them get some soil samples and EVA reports and stuff like that. And then we're going to have them launch and go into orbit at Kerbal, where we will send a rescue ship to bring them home out of orbit, and then we will deorbit. We'll deorbit that base, and our Minmus base will have completed its almost year-long mission, and that'll be fun. All right, until then, as always, my name is Sean Sands. Thank you for joining me, and we will see you again real soon.